So for the record, I don't want to go after Scott anymore because he's got all those cool presentation tools that I don't have. Let me get to the front of this thing. So I'm Jeff Foster, Director of Products for Enron Communications, and realize that I'm coming right before lunch, so I'm going to take probably an hour, two, nice and slow. I'm sure you guys aren't hungry. So I'm actually going to blow through this and actually try to leave a little bit of time for Q&A. So just tell me if I'm moving too fast. Otherwise, I am going to try to move fast through it, and hold your questions, and I'll save about 5 minutes for Q&A at the end. So I'm going to attempt to quickly cover the following things. Oh, wrong way. What is, I'm going to give you a basic overview of the ECI products. I'm going to spend most of the time talking about the application services because those are the products that are the most dynamic. They change, they're evolving very quickly. We're getting a lot of attention around those services, so I'll get into those in more detail. I'll talk about what today's e-powered application services are, and we'll talk about where we are going with the e-powered application services. So our product strategy is completely up and down the stack. At the bottom, we have carrier services, which are dark fiber, conduit, and the network, where we're bringing significant new capacity to the industry. Above that, we're building the EIN, the Enron Intelligent Network, which is a combination of bandwidth and the systems that support applications. We have a layer of network intelligence on top of that. It's software that allows us to uniquely support applications in the marketplace. We have developed and are bringing to market managed services, our e-powered MediaCast and media transport. And then on top of that, application service providers and partners bring managed services to market using our platform. And we've taken this approach because we want to drive value in the network, and we certainly want to drive demand and well understand demand in the bandwidth marketplace. So it's important for us to be operating at both the application layer and bringing significant new network at the network layer. We've gotten a lot of good feedback since we kicked off the strategy. Folks like Telephony Magazine, Enron is the first carrier in the United States to put an entire network in place for data. Many people have said they're going to do this, but Enron is really doing it. They're putting their network where their mouth is. So thus far, we've gotten great feedback from technology companies, our technology partners, and the media for the things that we're doing. So the application services side, we're focused on applications that have a very large audience, like the internet. We intend to bring value to over 100 million desktops, which would be the internet today is 165 million desktops. So we're looking at applications that require internet ubiquity, the reach to millions of users with global needs and global access. But we're delivering a platform that creates the reliability that the applications need so that enterprise customers will start to use our platform and rely on it for their mission-critical business processes. And we're bringing specifically settlement and support services to these applications that don't exist today over the public network. So when somebody in the supply chain of internet services breaks the network or the application breaks today, there's nobody to point to. There's no system of incentives end to end, as Scott was saying. So that's exactly what we're creating is settlement and incentives end to end for the delivery of these application services. So to do that, we have built the Enron Intelligent Network, and it is a combination of distributed application services, servers in our POPs and partners' data centers, interconnected with new capacity, our core, which is a pure IP network, and our software agent, our middleware agent, which is the interagent application's proprietary software, and it's extremely useful for enabling applications that weren't working well in the public network space. And you guys, I'm sure, and gals know about some of our existing services, ePowered MediaCast and ePowered Media Transport. These were our flagship products that we brought to market in April at the National Association of Broadcasters Conference in Las Vegas. And you're going to get a piece on this specifically, so I'm not going to go into much detail, but just MediaCast is about video distribution to IP desktops in such a way that does not perform today over the internet. Media Transport is a very high-end service that allows the video broadcasters to move around video content in a very high quality, very cost-effective, very easy-to-use way that's unique in the marketplace today. And those are our first two products. The ePowered services that we're going to be rolling out are ePowered Media Conferencing. We'll be in beta with the media conferencing product this quarter and be bringing it to market generally next quarter. What we're doing with media conferencing is we're allowing end users to come to application service provider websites to reserve and order conference bridging for video conferencing. So folks come to the site, reserve a bridging service which is hosted in the network, and the first version of this service we're rolling out with PictureTel. And then ultimately, end users will be able to reserve bridging services in the network that are actually distributed in our data centers or other partners' data centers. Again, we're in beta with this next month, and it will probably be the end of the fourth quarter once we, to get to a point to where we have a service that can be sold in volume in the open market.
It may be a little bit confusing when you talk about, your slide shows low quality and business costs, and by just what you said in terms of the stages, you might imply that initially starting out, they will not be using the EIN and it will be a low quality service. I think what you meant to say is that we will use a bridging service that is owned by PictureTel initially, and eventually we will put bridging or MCU services throughout the EIN. Correct?
Correct. And actually, what I was hoping to, what I was looking to communicate there is, you can video conference over the internet today, and a lot of people do it using NetMeeting servers that are distributed, supported by all kinds of folks in an internetish way. If you go buy a new PC and get the camera, it's got NetMeeting on it, and you can find a bridging server in the public network and get a very, very low quality video conference today over the internet. What we're doing is pushing the use of those kinds of services to our network with our application service provider partners, so that when you open up an ePowered video conference, it can be up to full motion video, 25 frames a second, very high quality video conferencing like you would get over a private network architecture today. Past the conferencing services, we're looking to focus, as Rex mentioned, into specific vertical markets. So we're looking for applications that enable enterprises in the middle to build secure network connectivity to the communities that they need to serve in the new network economy. And those communities include their employees, their customers, their suppliers and partners. So the whole concept of the intranet, the internet, and the extranet, we are rolling up into a single platform to support enterprise applications. And this, in our minds, is the competitive battlefield for the network economy, where these enterprises need to quickly deliver higher customer satisfaction, lower costs, some kind of competitive agility, and accelerated time to market with higher employee efficiency. So we're looking for the low-hanging fruit opportunities where we can enable enterprises to compete more effectively using networks. And the enterprise has this requirement with their employees, customers, and partners, and application developers are building services right now to support these community needs, building them for private networks, looking at the public network as some kind of a utility, but there's certainly this opportunity today to bring public network-like ubiquity and ease of use with private network-like security and availability to support these application developers and the ASPs, or application service providers, that are building businesses around this software. So what we're specifically doing is enabling the ASPs in this space. We want to be realistic about what we can deliver to the market. We want to also have very clear prioritization in our efforts. So we're looking at specific verticals, studying kind of broad commercial verticals, looking at verticals where we can bring the most value and therefore command the most revenue very quickly, and then looking for what are the vertical applications, or I'm sorry, what are the horizontal applications that go across verticals, what vertical markets can specifically be benefited, what are the back office applications and front office applications that are being brought to market, and who are these application service providers that we need to be partnering with, getting capacity into data centers where their services can be hosted, helping them move their products to market through our sales channel or our indirect channels like our ISPs in a very focused way. And if I could, I'm going to skip this wonderful animation because Scott already gave you something a little better. But if I could define our product strategies, or what are some of the values that drive our decisions, we intend to be very market-driven. And right now are engaging in study around which verticals we can bring the most value to and letting the market decide for us. We want to be very opportunistic. We want to look for companies that we can partner with for technology, as Rex mentioned, or delivery to customers. We want to be very realistic relative to what we, entering into the market in the time that we are, can accomplish and how we should prioritize our efforts. And we certainly want to be first. We have gotten acknowledgement, Enron Communications, since the inception of our product strategy, for being innovative, for being a first mover, for leading the market, and we certainly intend to do that. So these are the values that we're using to sort of drive our priorities. 5 minutes, questions?
What is the application service providers? I mean, what is the incentive for them to write software that works on our network? I mean, I can see the value to write software that works on the public internet because it's everywhere. If they don't really know what our network hits and our reach, why would they be compelled to write software that specifically works better on our network? It's still kind of a narrow view of the world.
Yeah, I think well, firstly, they're going to have to know what kind of reach and delivery we can bring to consumers of their application services. So we can't get out of, we're not ever going to be off the hook, I don't believe, for proving that our network is going to bring value to the application. Once we have proven that, then the incentive is going to we're going to have to create incentive. I think that today the public network is not doing it. So if you look at like Oracle and a couple of different companies, relative to what could be done with IP in their application experience, ASPs aren't fully leveraging it, and ISV, or application developers, aren't fully leveraging it. So if we didn't believe that the network brought significant value over a public internet experience, we wouldn't be working with an application developer. And that's another thing around realistic. We're looking for opportunities. We're looking for applications that we know won't be sort of commercially critical over the public network. If it works today over the internet, then we're not trying to fix it. In other words, and that's why rich media makes perfect sense, because today the quality is very poor. So we can bring enablement or acceleration, bandwidth to that application experience. And we'll continue to look for applications where latency is a huge issue, for transaction services, for example, or credit card authorization, where speed is critical, reliability is critical, security is critical. Those are the applications we'll focus on, not some of the things that people can do well over the internet today. Questions? Hunger? I brought some business cards if you guys want to pick one up. I'm also over in the Rock Bottom building on the 4th floor, so say hi while you're here. Hope to meet all of you, and let me know if you have any questions.